All right, let's get back to another episode of the DGN Sports Show. Same three as always, me, Adam, Garrett. We're going to try to turn it around from last week's bad showing of picks, and hopefully we do better.
I've erased it from my memory. I don't have any memory of what you're talking about. What?
I can't forget it. This one was.
I've not missed a bet all year. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, but we'll just jump right into the first call. We're going to start with college. It's Kentucky at Ole Miss. This line started at 7. It still says it's at 7. The over-under's at 54. Money line for Kentucky is plus 220. Adam, take this one.
Gladly. Okay, so I know Ole Miss has a high-powered offense, but I believe in our defense. I do. I know Lane Kiffin is going to throw everything he's got in the cupboard at us, and he is a trickster, and he's going to have if they don't run a reverse pass in this game, I'll give somebody $5. If one of the listeners catches this and calls me on that, if they do not run a reverse pass, I'll give you $5. But man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Plus 7 Kentucky, give me that all day long. If it was plus 3, I'd be iffy. I know Ole Miss is a rowdy atmosphere. Hell, we're going to the game. But I think that the fact that it's an early game, our players aren't going to lay around the hotel all day long. They're not going to get just burn out on being there. It's show up, take care of business, get out of there. I'm not, just based on our recent success, I'm not going to take a money line because I'm tired of losing bets. But I think the plus 7 is an easy grab right there. You tell me you're telling me Ole Miss is going to beat us by 2 scores? No, I don't see that happening. As far as the over under, I know we're a low point scoring team, but I could see this. I could see this being a low scoring game because that's the way Mark Stoops wants it to be. He's going to want to score a low point. You know what? I've talked myself into it. I'll take the under on it. I'll take the under on 54 and give me the Cavs.
It's a good pick.
So I'm kind of in the same boat, except when it comes to the points. So like you said, with Lane Kiffin finally, playing, a really good Kentucky team. Like you said, he's going to throw some things at us. Our defense is good. I think there's going to be some points given up for sure. And just to enjoy this game a little bit more, I'm going to take the over. But what was the money line odds for Kentucky in that game?
Plus 220.
Oh, give me that all day. I'm being a homer. Cats are going down, and they're taking care of business. And
that's one of the better money line odds that I've seen. I mean, like realistic. Okay, Kentucky's a high ranked team. Yeah, it's the same. Okay, they're 4-0. We're 4-0. They don't have really a marquee win yet. We did win at Florida, but Florida's not been really showing themselves lately. I mean, they did play well at Neyland last week, but man, 220 for the Cats right there. That's. I will tell you this, Blackburn. Before the weekend's out, we'll put a money line bet down on that.
Yes, I want to badly because Garrett kind of took my words out of my mouth. You both did really, because Ole Miss is going to throw everything they have at us. That's just how Lane Kiffin is. I think both offenses have been holding back a little bit on their trick plays and anything big. But it looks like Ole Miss has scored more than 40 twice, 35 once. And Kentucky's average is probably right there at like 30.
Yeah.
31. But I was going to take the over. I had wrote down the over. But if I think our defense is going to score and be able to hold on to this game and win it, I am taking UK money line. I think I got to take the under in the money line bet.
Now I will say this: they gave up the most points it's given up all season last week to Northern Illinois.
Yes,
we've been talking about Georgia's defense. I mean, so Georgia, what did they give up? 23 last week.
Yeah,
22. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's right in
22,
there. Yeah.
something like that. Okay, so they give up 35 points. Kentucky's gonna give up 50. Like that's 2 touchdowns, and that could come from anywhere. Like we've got a stout defense, um, and really, Northern Illinois game. I think a game our defense kind of took off a little bit. Um, that's the most points we give up all season. So I'm not worried about Lane Kiffin having his way with whatever we throw at him. But I just, man, I think it's going to be a Stoops ball game. I think he's going to get a lead, and then he is going to run Chris Rodriguez until his legs fall off from not working at UK Medical Center.
Yes. All right, next game is Michigan at Iowa. Michigan is an 11-point favorite, and the over-under is 42 plus 310 to the Hawkeyes for the money line bet. Garrett, this is your team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, they kind of bit me last week, hitting their first over, of the season.
1 point. Was that 1 point?
It was by 3. I mean, it was close. So, yeah, I'm giving them a slap on the wrist, and I'm gonna start off. Screw the spread. I'm taking the under. It's Iowa. I don't think Iowa's gonna score, but maybe a field goal. But I think Michigan scores. I mean, that's the thing. Iowa's defense is. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, you're not gonna see the full force of Michigan's offense go out there and just score like crazy. I think Michigan scores like 27 points, and then give Iowa like a field goal, maybe even a touchdown. I'm still taking the under, but I think Michigan covers 11 pretty daggone easily. The only team to really score on Iowa this season has been last week. I don't know. Give me Michigan. Give me Michigan and the under.
Yeah, so I didn't know what way to go with this. So Iowa scored 7 in their first game, 7 in their second game, and then they scored 27 in their next 2 games, which surprised me. They beat Rutgers by 17. But Michigan's putting a lot of points on the board. 51 against Colorado State, 56 against Hawaii, 59 against Connecticut, and then their first, I guess, major FBS school would be Maryland that they played. They scored 34. They won that.
I will say this is probably the best defense they're going to see this far.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, Iowa doesn't break that often. That's where I'm getting most of my under thinking right there. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm also taking Michigan, but I'm going to take the over because I think Michigan looks good offensively, and I think they're just going to score points. And I think Iowa might score 14, 17, something in that ballpark, but Michigan's still going to score 30 points, in my opinion. So I think it should cover that. Was that 42? Yeah. So I'm taking Michigan in the over. Adam, you're muted.
Something that's worth noting is Michigan barely squeaked by Maryland last week, and it was a home game for Michigan.
Yep.
They beat Maryland by 7 points at the Big House. So I'm not. I mean, Michigan's kind of like Clemson, man. I've not seen anything from. The only thing I'm trusting on them being a good team is that number beside their name. Like, I know they beat Hawaii, 50, by 50 points, but so did Vandy. Like, that doesn't prove anything to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm flirting on taking Iowa money line.
Ooh.
Now the only reason is because it's 3-1. It's over 3-1. So I'm definitely taking Iowa on the spread. Okay. But just because it's 3-1, I'll take Iowa money line on that. And the only thing that scares me is Iowa's going to run the clock out on themselves. And they're screwed. But I think Iowa's defense holds them. I'm going to take the under on it, and I'm going to take Iowa money line on it.
I will say you brought up Maryland last week. The quarterback for Maryland is to his younger brother.
Yes.
So that's just a fun fact right there. I heard that name, and I was like, well, he's either got to be a brother, cousin, or something, because there ain't a lot of Tagovailoa, however you pronounce it, out there playing football. So
I still It amazes me the
That's
people on ESPN that can just say it freely.
Tagovailoa. Yeah.
Tagovailoa. Is it Tagovailoa?
Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa.
Something.
Tua.
Tua.
Next game is Navy at Air Force. Now, I know sometimes when they do these armed forces games, they play neutral site. I don't know if this one is, but I just wondered if it was actually a neutral site game or not.
I will tell you right now.
But it is 14 to Air Force. The over/under is 37.5.
It's at Air Force. It
Okay.
is a true home game.
Okay. And the Navy money line is plus 425. And this is the battle of the triple options.
Yes.
So
I've got a nice little detail when I was trying to look into this game a little bit more earlier. So I found a stat that says Air Force is 5-2 last year against the spread. And I said, okay, good job, Air Force. I'm taking that. And then right below it said our Navy is 6-1 against the spread last year. And I said, well, screw this. So I'm just going with the better team. Air Force is a better team. And 37.5 is too low. This is in Iowa, so I'm going to take the over.
Yeah. Air Force seems to be scoring a decent amount of points. They scored 48. I know that was Northern Iowa. But they played Colorado. Colorado's usually a decent program, nothing fantastic, but they beat them 41-10.
I think they're pretty bad this year, actually.
Are they that bad this year? I'm not looking
I think so.
anything. But they've scored over 43 times. But I'm still, let's see, what's Navy done? Navy has not scored very many points. Lost to Delaware 14-7. Lost to Memphis 37-13. Beat East Carolina by 3. Yeah, give me. I'm gonna take Air Force in this and 37.5. That's so low. But we know how many unders there's been this year.
That's in the NFL. College is different.
I thought we had just as many, like overall.
I don't know about that. I honestly don't know. I don't know about college.
We'd have to check. We'll look into that and figure it out.
Oh yeah,
for next week. But I'm also taking Air Force. I think they are, like Garrett said. Just looking at numbers, they should be the better team. So I'm going to take the over also.
The thing about this game is it's going to be. They better score quick because those quarters are going to go fast.
That is true.
Run.
Yeah. Like they got to get on the board quick because those quarters are going to go.
I hate to piggyback off what you just said, but can I change that to an under? Because I said the battle of the triple options, and I didn't even factor that in when I was saying that.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
What you want to do.
I'm going under.
So, if this was 13.5, I'd take Air Force. And this game's going to go so fast, I don't think they're going to be able to score more than 2 touchdowns to get ahead of them. So, I'm going to go with Navy. And 37.5 is what? 21 to 10 is a loss. 21-14. I don't know. 21-10 is a loss. 28. So I need 5 touchdowns and a field goal to get to it. Shit, when I say it like that, it doesn't even seem possible. I'm going to take the over, and I'll take Navy. I'll be the black sheep this week and just go completely off script. But I'm gonna take Navy. I know they're terrible, but the clock is not going to stop unless somebody goes out of bounds. So I don't think Air Force can get ahead of them that fast and stay ahead of them. But just because 37.5 is so low, I'll take the over.
That's fair. Next game is Oklahoma State at Baylor. Baylor's a 2-point favorite. The over-under is 57 plus 115 to Oklahoma State. It looks like, if I'm going to play my numbers game like I've done so far, Baylor scored 69 once, which that was against Albany. Texas State, they scored 42. 31 against Iowa State. We're at 57. Oklahoma State, let's see. 58, 34, 63. I guess they had a bye first week. Yeah, I mean, let me get I know it's only plus 115, but give me Oklahoma State money line in this one. And then I'm under. I got at 57. I'm taking under.
All I saw in this game is two Big 12 teams that don't really like each other. I think it's going to be a shootout. So get points.
Are we losing?
Yeah, we lost him. He's frozen.
It's all right.
You go ahead, Garrett. If you can still hear us, try to reset your camera.
Season so.
There we go.
Give me
All right,
better than over.
He's
Yeah,
back.
everybody froze.
Okay,
Yeah, just repeat what you said.
All right,
More gusto.
All right, guys. All I saw. Okay, now all I saw. I mean, these are two Big 12 teams, and all I can think about is Big 12 is. I mean, they just sling it around. So I don't dislike Oklahoma State. I think that they're decent this year. But it being a Big 12 game, this Oklahoma State's first conference game. They haven't played a single conference opponent yet. I'm going to take Baylor. I think Baylor's going to win. Two's just not enough to get me to try to even go. This one might be the one I had the most trouble with. But give me Baylor, and I just think they're just going to sling it around quite a bit. So I'm going to take the over as well.
For me, Oklahoma State, Baylor has screwed me too many times this year. I don't care what any stat says. Give me Oklahoma State money line, and I'm going to take the over. I don't care. I don't care if Oklahoma State's the worst team. I know they're not, but even if they were ranked, just out of spite, I would not take Baylor. So I'm going to take Oklahoma State +2 and money line at that, and give me the over.
Okay. So our next game is Alabama at Arkansas. Now, besides the UK game, this is the one that I want to watch. Arkansas played good last week, lost it. Barely lost the game. That was my pick for money line. But I still believe in them. I still think they're good. And 17.5 to Alabama. The over-under is at 61. It is plus 600 Arkansas money line, which I don't think anybody's going to take. But Garrett, you asked to be first on this one. I know you've got something to throw at us.
I love that you just said you don't think anybody's going to take it.
Are you doing it?
Okay, Arkansas is pissed off after last week. And I don't think, Adam, I had a feeling that you would possibly go this way. So I'm going to snag it before you do. That's why I told Blackburn, I said, give me this one first. It's a miracle at Razorback Stadium on Saturday. Give me Arkansas money line. Give me that plus 600 and 61 points. Score 70. I don't care. Give me the over. This is going to be a fun game to watch.
I'm going to throw a hypothetical out. Arkansas playing Texas at a neutral stadium. Who wins?
Arkansas.
I think Arkansas does.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. So I'm going to roll Garrett. Yeah, I think if also I assume we're going to make a parlay at the end of this. I think that plus 17 is a gimme.
Yes.
Plus 17.5 is a gimme.
I was shocked seeing that, to be honest.
Yeah, a gimme bet right there. The one, yeah, I'll smack that money line, and the over under. Dude, when Alabama plays teams that are legitimate, I've not seen Bryce Young being able to produce offense like he could last year. I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah. So I wanted to take this money line, but I don't know. I think Arkansas is going to give them a good game, so I'm just going to take Arkansas to cover, and I'm also taking the under. But I wanted to take a money line because when I looked at Arkansas's schedule, they played a ranked Cincinnati team to start the season. They won 31-24. That's a good team. Cincinnati's always a good team. They played South Carolina and beat them 44-30. They're scoring lots of points, it seems like. Well, South Carolina is what they is, but they're still an SEC school who's going to play hard when you're playing in conference. And then they scored another 38-27 win over Missouri State, which was the number 5 ranked team in FCS. So they're no pushover FCS team. They're a good team. But they did lose by 2 points to Texas A&M. But I think this is like a one-score game when the clock winds out. It's going to be close, in my opinion. Like 7,
I'll be right back. Y'all keep going.
10. So, yeah, I'm taking Arkansas. I'm taking the under. Because when you see the schedule of Alabama, I mean, they played Utah State. Texas is the only team that they've played that's even comparable. They have one good game on their schedule right now.
And I wouldn't even say that they're actually even comparable. I think that was just a bad Bama game, but still,
Yeah.
Texas is better than all the other opponents. But Texas isn't really that good, and they struggled.
Yeah, in all the other games, they're averaging, if you take out the Texas game, they're averaging, I think it's 57.5, 58 points offensively. But they're not playing those. Like, Arkansas is not going to let you score 55 points on them, I don't think.
No.
So,
I mean, the only thing that really stumps me is last week, Arkansas against A&M is, yeah, Arkansas lost by 2, but A&M is an extremely good defensive team this year. So I'm not really concerned about the amount of points that Arkansas can get across on Bama. It's just kind of piggybacking off of what Griff said after, when Bryce Young's been playing really good defenses, he's not, putting up, a lot of numbers. I'd like this to be a shootout. If I had to write fun game on this, if I had to pick one out, this would be my fun game. But, yeah, I'm telling you, Miracle Razorback Stadium, that's what they're going to call it 20 years from now when Arkansas goes and, takes care of business.
all right, and Garrett, just to clarify, do you take under or over?
Give me the points. I'm taking over.
Okay. Let's try to make sure I keep all these wrote down. Next game is LSU at Auburn. It is 9.5 to LSU, and the over/under is 45.5. Now, Auburn has not looked good in the last 3 weeks. They did beat Mercer 42-16, but then they barely beat San Jose State by 8. They got their shit rocked by Penn State 41-12, and then they only beat Missouri by 3 points. An Auburn team. Now we're talking about Auburn, and then Missouri being the worst maybe the worst next to Vandy. Actually, I don't know. I might take Vandy over Missouri right now. But LSU's played in a big game once to start the season, and they seem to be rolling offensively, just looking at the scoreboards. So I'm taking LSU. I'm taking that 9.5 LSU, and I'm going to take, 45.5. I'm going to take the under. I don't think Auburn's going to score very many in this game.
I don't. This line's weird, man. The names are getting me. It's hard for me to give anybody 10 points on Auburn. I know it's at Auburn, but that didn't mean anything for Penn State. And maybe Penn State's better than we think they are. I'm gonna go the over, and I'm gonna take LSU. I think they win by 10. I think it's a close. I think that spread is right at it. But man, Auburn they're on a dumpster fire this year. Let's just ride it out and get rid of that coach. See what happens next year.
Yeah, I've got the same mindset as Griff's on this. I'm taking LSU. LSU's not terrible. Their offense is, it's something that you can actually work with. Auburn sucks. Let's be honest. Auburn's just trash right now. So, yeah, give me LSU. 45.5 is a little bit too low. I could see this being, I think Auburn maybe scores 2 touchdowns, but LSU is going to have their way offensively. Yeah, give me the over.
Okay. Our last college game of the week, North Carolina State at Clemson. Clemson is a 6.5 point favorite. The over/under is 39.5, plus 215 to NC State. Griff, you want to take this one first?
Yep, smacking NC State money line.
Oh, that was
rolling
quick.
with it. Man, Clemson has shown me too much to be a great team this year, and I think they're going to trip up. One of these games, they're going to trip up, and I'll keep smacking money lines if it's plus 200 odds. So I'll take NC State money line and the over on that.
Nice.
I'm gonna go opposite direction on you, Griff.
Okay, wow, all right. Take me go blue.
My thing is, Clemson's defense looks pretty shoddy right now. I mean, Wake Forest had their way last week, but what's the main takeaway for me, at least, is Clemson kept up with them and then still won the game. So Clemson's gonna get their points.
Yep.
Uh, I mean, it all depends. Like if they can just keep up with NC State, and I think they do, win by a touchdown. I like 6.5 because Clemson wins by a touchdown. You know, I'm fine with that. I think Clemson wins this game. I just don't understand how is that over under at 39.5. And I went and checked before when I first saw that written down. I was like, I'm gonna see if that's correct, and it was. I'm hammering that over. I'm hammering that over.
That's going in the parlay.
It has to. It has to. But give me Clemson and smack the dog shit out of that over.
Yeah. I'm also taking Clemson. I think they're going to win by 7. Like Garrett said, they've scored enough points to show that I'd like to see what they are against the spread this year. But it looks like they've won by 31, won by 23, won by 28, and then last week that was a shootout, fun to watch game, won by 7 or 6 against Wake Forest. So yeah, I think they're going to score their points. They're going to do what they have to do, and like you said, their defense is supposed to be now. I think last week might have been the first Clemson game I watched, but they're supposed to be a top of the line defense, according to some people I've talked to. So
maybe Wake Forest is that good.
maybe.
I mean, college is kind of crazy like that, but all in all, I know NC State is ranked like 8th or 5th right now. I mean, they're ranked pretty well high. But I don't know. Maybe it's a name thing. I still got to take Clemson. I mean, it's Clemson.
Yep. All right, that is it for our college games. I've got all those wrote down. We'll jump over to the NFL in a game that starts tomorrow night.
Oh.
Now, is this correct? I thought this game was in Cincinnati.
Yep. No, this is it.
It's at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those
that's what I thought. Okay. I'll make sure. I'll ask. Garrett should know before we check that. So it is the Dolphins at Bengals. It is a 4-point favorite to the
Bengals.
Bengals. Okay. The over/under is at 47. It's plus 165 for the Bengals. This game's going to be really hard for me to watch. I will be riding in a car to Mississippi, but I'm going to watch it regardless. And I think the Dolphins cover. And I hate to say that. But it's
not a hot take.
I can't pick with my heart here, and I want to, but the Dolphins, man. I'll say this. I will take Dolphins to cover if Tua is 100% healthy and playing. When they said he was, they said it was a back injury that caused him to stumble and not a concussion. So they say, which it is being investigated. But I don't know. I still think Dolphins are going to cover this. They should win. Dolphins probably will win the game, but if Bengals win by a field goal, that'd be the only way I think Bengals walk out of there with a W. So I still got Dolphins cover. And 47. I'm going to go over on that.
I'm right there with you. And as a Steelers fan, I'm very excited to watch this absolute beatdown that's going to take place in Cincinnati, Ohio tomorrow night. I mean, it does rely, strictly on if Tua is functioning correctly tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Who's your backup?
Oh Lord, don't ask me that.
I can check right now. Keep talking. I'll look.
I have no idea.
I don't think there's a way in this world that Tua doesn't play tomorrow night. Give me Miami money line. They're winning this game by at least 10 points. Hammer that over. Oh my God, I still don't understand why Cincinnati was favored in this game. If the line come out after Tua, was hurt on Sunday, that's one thing, but I think it's disrespectful. Even at Cincinnati on a primetime game, Miami is by far the better team.
They're on fire right now. Yeah.
Give me fins up.
Teddy Bridgewater is the backup.
Yeah, and Teddy's been known to come in and play some good games in the NFL.
Hey, when Teddy's not the actual starting guy, he gets wins. So I don't care if it's Teddy starting or not. I'm still taking
Yep.
Finn's money line.
As soon as I looked that up, I was like, wow.
If I could, I would put both of these picks in the parlay, but I'm hammering Dolphins money line.
Let's go.
I'm hammering the over. If you have anybody on your fantasy team on either of these teams, put them in your starting lineup. It is going to be an absolute shootout. The only thing that could throw that off path is if Tua doesn't play. But Teddy Bridgewater is a facilitator, and he'll do fine. Joe Burrow is going to have his come out game. He had a great game last week, but he's going to return to form as far as we know. Joe Burrow, and if Tua plays, man, this is going to be an absolute spark show. So,
can we get a prop? Can we find a prop for how many sacks Joe Burrow's going to take tomorrow night?
Absolutely, I can tell you.
I would say 3.5, and I would take the over on that.
I'll tell you that right now. 3.5 is what you think it is.
That's what I would guess. Miami's defensive front is a nasty group of guys. I mean, Josh Allen struggled quite a bit on Sunday, being under pressure. And Cincinnati's offensive line is just not looking good right now. I mean, they only gave up 2 sacks, I think, to the Jets. So that's an improvement, but it's the Jets. See if we can find a prop on that. I'd like to get a little bit of action on that.
So, would you say Dolphins money line in this parlay, or would you just want them to cover in this parlay?
I would do if it's a parlay, I would do the cover. I would do the cover, but
okay. Because I might click on one of these websites and just see what kind of odds you can get on this parlay. I've got them all in there so far.
But I'll find a sack total here.
Griffith, you gave yours. Yeah, we'll go on to another game while you look at that. So this is Bills at Ravens. Is that correct? 3 to the Bills. The over-under is 52. It is plus 135 to the Ravens.
So I found a total sacks in the entire game at 5.5.
I think I would take the over on that, to be honest.
I would smack the over.
I think I would too. Sadly, I had poor Joe Burrow. He got up limping one time last week, and I was like, "That's it. He's gone. He's done."
It's going to happen sometime this season. I'm not praying for an injury. I like Joe Burrow, but it's going to happen. The man runs for his life every Sunday. So
yeah, it's hard to watch. So just right now, I just want to throw this in there before we talk about this. I've got the Dolphins cover over in the Clemson and the Arkansas covering as a parlay, and it's plus 596 as of right now.
The only thing I can find right now is total sacks, and it's 5.5.
Okay. But the Bills-Ravens game, what we was getting to, the Bills are pissed. Now, Bryson said somebody in their secondary for the Bills was hurt.
Yeah, Micah Hyde's out for the season, and their secondary is decimated. But even with that Bills defense held up and only let Tua and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill score 21. Yeah, so I'm not really concerned about that when it comes to this game.
Yeah, and the Ravens don't have one weapon that equal either one of those guys.
No,
in my opinion. So I'm gonna take Bills cover, and I think it's an easy cover.
Yep.
And at 52, I'm gonna take the under because, like you said, their defense still only allowed 20 points. So give me the Bills and the under.
So I like the spread pick. I'm all on board. The Bills are pissed.
Yeah.
And Lord help the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday because Josh Allen's gonna be on a mission. The one thing that I'm gonna change on that 52, I'm hammering the over because the Ravens secondary could not stop anything. They can't stop anything, and they will not stop anything on Sunday. Josh Allen's going to – if there was a game that you could put in a pick for 500 yards plus passing by a quarterback, It's only happened a few times in NFL history. I would sprinkle a little bit on Josh Allen throwing for over 500 on Sunday. The Ravens secondary is that bad.
Be that. Hang on.
You go.
I
I'll look it up, Griff, if you want to go ahead and give your pick.
Okay. I'm definitely rolling with the Bills spread. That over under for me is kind of tight, and the only reason I say that is because the NFL has been an under league this year. You know, we've been praying to hit over unders at 40. We have yet to see, other than the Ravens Dolphins week 1, we have yet to see a game just absolutely turn into a spark show. So I'm going to take the under, but I'm taking the Bills.
You might have to take that and look for that. I don't see nothing that shows Josh Allen throwing.
Oh, I can find that right now.
I mean, a realistic pick would be around 400 if it over 4. But I think Josh Allen's on for over 5.
You could probably change that 4 at 5 if you could.
Oh, absolutely. Hang on, we can find that.
Let's go.
We'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and throw out this next line. It is the Lions at the Seahawks.
Or Seahawks at Lions.
Seahawks at Lions. Okay, so that one's backwards too. It is 4.5 Seahawks. Then.
Detroit 4.5.
4.5.
4.5. Yeah.
Okay, Detroit's 4.5 favor, and the over/under's at 48. Take it away, Garrett.
Yeah, I'm looking for something. You go ahead.
So, I'm taking the Lions. The Seahawks are disgustingly bad. Geno Smith had his decent first game where he was cooking. That's the only good game you're going to see out of Geno Smith this season. I'll be surprised if Drew Lock doesn't come in eventually. The Seahawks are bad. The Lions are a very good bad team. So these are kind of games where the Lions take care of business and everybody has hope in Detroit. I think the Lions cover this, but I think it's an ugly game, and I'm going to take the under. The only thing that really kicks me is the Lions had several people who did not practice today and don't look to be practicing at least full participation the rest of the week. I'll keep an eye on that, but I'm feeling pretty good about the under at 48 because this game's just gonna be nasty. Yeah. Hey, and Jared Goff, he's been cooking. Jared Goff's had a pretty decent season so far. Amon-Ra St. Brown's looking good. If DeAndre Swift, he's banged up. I hope he gets to play. You know, I could see this overhitting, but as of right now, I don't think the weapons are there. I think the Lions win, but it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be an under.
Yeah, I also am taking Lions in under. I looked up the same thing you did, and Swift not playing. One weapon left. I don't see a lot of points being scored, and I'm with you. I don't like the Seahawks. I don't think they're good at all, but so I'm taking Lions under.
Well, I've tried to find that. I can't do it. I'm going to go with, and it comes down to me, it's Jared Goff versus Geno Smith. And, he looked great in his first game, but he's kind of shit the bed after. I'm going to go over in the game. I think the neither of these defenses are insanely amazing, and so I'll take the over. When I know that the NFL's been an under league, but I'm gonna take the over, and I'll take. You know what? I'll take the Seahawks. I'll take Geno. Man, that first game I watched him, man, he kind of looked decent, and I feel like I believe in Pete Carroll, so.
It's like flipping a coin every time Geno gets on the field.
Yeah,
I mean, he can cook, or it's the worst quarterbacking you've ever seen. So.
Now, Adam, did you give us a Bills-Ravens pick, or did we skip over you there?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills and the under.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't.
Bills in the under.
I thought we skipped over you, and I was looking down at my sheet.
No, I said it.
Okay.
I can go back and look, but I'm pretty sure I said Bills. I know I said Bills. I think I said the under.
Okay, it's fine either way. I trust you. Next one is Broncos at Raiders. It's 2.5 to the Raiders, and the over/under is 48.5, plus 125 to the Bronx. I like the Raiders in this one. Give me the Raiders.
Damn straight.
Same thing.
48.5 though. God, it's been such an under league. Yeah, I think I'm taking Raiders and under. Yeah, Raiders.
Is that 48 or 40, 45? I might have written it down incorrectly.
48 and a half.
It says 48 and a
Wow.
half. The next game is 45. That's where you probably got it mixed up.
Okay.
For me, I'm hammering the under, and I'm gonna take the Raiders too. I know the Broncos are 2-1, and I know Russell Wilson is winning them ball games, but that offense is awful. It is awful.
Well, they're unhealthy
And,
right now too. So.
And so I'm gonna roll with the Raiders and the under.
We've got a clean sweep, guys, because I think the Raiders are finally going to get a win this week. I think they're going to put up some decent offensive production. And God, Russell Wilson, Jesus, he's just not good. He's just not good. Yeah, give me Raiders and under.
So I got a question. If it's at 2.5, you're betting them to cover. You might as well bet that money line. Am I wrong in my thinking?
Well,
Because
I mean,
to
yes,
make it a 2-point
technically, but-
game, would it
Yes,
not-
technically, but at minus 145, like it's kind of rough.
I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I see what you're saying. All right.
I mean, if you want to, don't let me stop you. But
No, I don't want to. I
as
just
far as what you would be paid versus what could happen, it's not. I don't think it's worth it.
No, I know that. I just was wondering, like, just talking about not what the minus 145 is, just talking about just the points. If you're going to bet them to cover 2.5, in your mind you would think bet money line, but I'm not factoring in the minus 145. That was just a thought I was having. Next game, let me scroll back down here. Chiefs at Bucks. This is a 1-point Buccaneer favorite, and the over/under is 45. Now, I do believe everybody at the Buccaneers is still injured. Or Evans is back this week, right?
Yeah, Evans got back off suspension. I think Chris Godwin's day to day. Julio's probably about a week out.
Well, Julio was supposed to line up this last Sunday, but it came down to a game time decision, and they were like, "Oh, we'll just wait another week." So I think he plays. If that's the case, for me, I'm taking the Bucks if they're going to be healthy. And I think Pat Mahomes finds ways to score points when he needs to, especially under pressure. So I'm taking the over.
Well,
Hey man, go ahead, Garrett. You got it.
just check that because I'm pretty sure it's Kansas City -1.
It might have moved since then.
Okay, that's.
Well, no, it wouldn't move. It wouldn't.
I don't think it would have moved too.
Yeah, hang on. Right now it is Kansas City -1. Okay, yeah. All right. Reconsider, Blackburn. Reconsider.
No, I'm still saying with my bet.
Do I have that right? Is Chiefs at the Bucks though?
Chiefs at Bucks and Chiefs -1.
Yeah.
So
I'm still going to take the Buccaneers.
I mean, it doesn't change that much.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's Patrick Mahomes coming off a stupid game where they lost against the Colts, and the Colts are bad. I think this is Kansas City is going to take care of business. I mean, just with offensive weaponry right now, you know, like we already talked about with Julio Jones, Chris Godwin. Kansas City is going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I don't think there's going to be a ton of points scored because that Tampa Bay defense is pretty sound.
Mike Edwards for the win.
Yes.
Shout out. Yeah, give me Kansas City to cover this, but give me the under. That's also Sunday Night Football, by the way, so that's going to be a very nasty primetime game to watch. I feel like.
Yeah. When a game's this close, I mean, you got to take money line whoever you pick, pretty much. And that 14-12 ball game last week against the Packers really made me think that the Buccaneers got it. I'm totally shitting with y'all. I'm hammering the Chiefs money line. I'm gonna take the over. I think as good as the Buccaneers defense is this year, the Chiefs, Andy Reid's gonna be able to scheme his way out of it. And finally, we get some kind of Tom Brady that scores points. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs money line and I'm gonna take the over.
Money line is what?
Minus 120. So
I think that's the reason why I didn't take it, even though I'm pretty confident Kansas City is going to win. Just
you realize your
what
spread
if
bet.
factor.
You realize your spread bet is minus 110, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're losing 10%.
Well,
But
we're not.
nine.
Yeah. On your math part, yeah. But if we're just
Yeah,
talking
but I'm
about
just
pick,
keeping with the one pick.
this wouldn't be one you'd want to throw in your. I got.
So
this
here's another thing. Like, if they win by 1 point and cover, they win the game.
Yeah, that is true.
If they tie, then you lose. But either you win the spread or you don't. And if you win the spread, you would win money line on 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
But you also only lose one pick if you just take the
That's
cover.
true. I mean, that is true. And that's coming from a place of wisdom because as far as our money line picks in the NFL, they are not well. I'll be honest with you.
Well, I would have said Bucks money line, but I was like, I've not done good with those this year, so I'm not.
Well, here's the thing.
NFL has screwed me.
I don't feel comfortable taking a money line bet against Tom Brady in any situation. Even if I think the Chiefs are going to go and outperform them, if I could just take one bet I feel good with, and I'll have to take a second one, and both of them be against Tom Brady, I'm gonna chill with that. You know.
But if you feel good, you had to say Tom Brady, didn't you?
He's a factor.
Dude,
there's like a couple names.
I have won a lot of money with Tom Brady. Here's the deal. I will not bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs until I lose, and I've not lost. You know. So until you can't bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. That's rule number one of all gambling. Like, don't bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. Now, when he's playing the Chiefs and it's a 1 point spread, I'll take the Chiefs. Okay. I'll take the Chiefs money line. But
last NFL game of the week: Rams at Niners. Is that correct, Garrett?
Yep.
Yeah.
1.5 to the 49ers. Is that not right?
Somehow that's correct.
I had to question that one.
I double checked because I found that confusing.
The over/under is at 42. Apparently, people in Vegas love Jimmy G as much as we do.
They're really loving that home field advantage. It is a primetime game. This is Monday Night Football, so I guess that's where it's coming from. But I mean, if you just look at, well, I guess you can't really do the roster game other than quarterback, because the Rams don't look anything like they did last year. I still think they're relevant, and they're going to be in the playoffs, but they're not the juggernaut they were last year. But the Rams are winning this game. I mean, their defense is just too good for Jimmy G. Now, if this was Trey Lance, I'm going to go ahead and just dog Trey Lance again. If this was Trey Lance, then it should be – I would take the Rams to cover 10 points in this game. But the Rams are going to win this game. I think looking at the money line odds, what was the money line for the Rams to win this?
Plus 110.
Plus 110.
Mm-hmm. So
same thing as a spread. Same bet as a spread.
Yeah. So I'll go do something crazy.
Yeah.
I just looked this up. It was on ESPN. Jimmy Garoppolo is 14-4 against the spread, and 13-5 outright as an underdog in his career.
He's not an underdog though.
No, but they just threw that in there. But 14-4 against the spread. It says 14-4 ATS. I assume that's what that means.
Distraction right there. That's Vegas. pushing
Yeah.
you in one direction.
This on ESPN. This ain't on no Vegas site. That's a real stat.
ESPN has never solicited sports gambling at all.
Never.
Um,
They're against it.
So, for me, I'm gonna roll with the Rams, and I'm taking money line because it's the same. I mean, it's minus 110 spread, plus 110. I mean, you push. As far as the juice goes, that over under for me is rough because I'm telling you, man, I would be surprised. I would almost take a bet that the 49ers don't score 30 points all year. And it just do the Rams have enough offense to put up 30? And if I'm being honest, I think they do. So I'm gonna take the Rams money line and the over.
Same. The only thing that stopped me from being so on board with taking the over at 42 is Monday night. I mean, I had good all the way up until the fourth quarter, and I mean they just scored points from nowhere. But they could score so easily in the NFL. I don't want to be taking the under in a primetime game and then watch it go down the drain. I'm gonna take the over as well.
So, you just took Rams cover, right, Garrett?
No, I'm not. At 110, I'll take the money line as well.
Yeah, Griffiths makes a lot of sense. I had Rams, but I mean, 110.
If you're betting on them to win by 1.5, I mean, you're talking about a very, very, very small chance that they only win by 1.
Yeah.
You might as well either they're gonna lose. If you're taking the Rams plus 1.5, either they lose by 1 and you lose, or actually if they lose by 1, you would push because I mean you would lose a little bit of juice, but either you win your spread bet. Either you win your spread bet and the money line bet, or you lose the juice. Like you lose whatever, you lose 20% of one bet value. So if you're betting 20 cents a unit, you're losing like $4. So it's a good both end bet because either they cover the spread. Now they could get blown out. Now how many times out of any of you do you see any possibility that the 49ers win by 10 points?
No.
Not at all.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was going to take just the Rams, but
if you feel confident in the Rams getting 1.5,
yeah,
the money line bet is easy picking.
I think the Niners are not a bad team, but like when I just look at what the Rams have and what they've done, they're just a better team. So like at 1.5, you would be almost stupid to not take the money line. In my opinion.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the 49ers are bad for NFL football.
Why?
Because at its core, the NFL is a money business. If the NFL could have 45 to 40 scores every week, they would do it because people would watch. A 10 to 11 ball game, no one gives a shit about. Nobody wants to watch it. Nobody cares. So, like, we all want points. We all want action. We all want massively long touchdowns where people break 5 tackles. And listen, if there's anything in this world, they will follow the money. And it just I don't think it works out. So I think that the 49ers either start scoring points or things start going bad for them.
Yeah. No, so I'll just stick Rams money line in the under. And that is all the games we're going to pick this week.
You want to figure out a parlay real quick?
I've got all 3 wrote down that we pretty much agreed on, and right now,
what were they?
Clemson over, Arkansas to cover, and the Dolphins to cover. And right now, I don't know if this will be like this at Caesars in Indiana, but it's showing just on this calculator. Plus 596 in a 3-team parlay. Is there a 4th? I don't.
Yeah.
I like this at 3 the way it sits. I feel super confident in all 3 of those. Now, I don't want to throw in something random that we're like, well, if this does hit, we are going to get more money. But if we can find another one that we all agree on, I would not care to throw that in there.
So Clemson over 39.5. What was the other one?
Arkansas to cover. 17.5. And then the Dolphins to cover 4.
4. Yeah. I don't have anything that jumped out to me. I mean, I looked at
the only other one I can think of is this Rams game, but it would be Monday. It's a Monday night, or no? Is that Monday?
It is.
So we would have to wait till Monday to
I've
follow.
got a couple. I would go the under on the Raiders game.
What is that?
8.5. I would go under 48.5 for the Raiders Broncos.
Let me add that one in here and see what I can find. See what it says. Oh God, that takes it up a lot.
Double it. What? Plus 1,000.
Plus 1228. Back up to where we was last weekend. About we had 1296 last weekend.
Now I'm telling you, man, I would take the Rams money line on that. Either that or change. Well,
the top 3 we have we can't change. I don't think.
Yeah, I like those too much.
So let me. What do you have on? Okay, top in $100. See what it pays out there.
$1,228.33.
That'll work.
Does everybody like that?
About on pars last week's. So
$1,200 and what?
$28.33.
I would say I tried to find a line for. I went back to week 1. My beloved South Dakota State Jackrabbits playing Western Illinois, and I could not find a line for it. Western Illinois is 0-3 or 0-4 so far, so I was just going to take the Jackrabbits to cover anything because they played a good game against Iowa week 1.
Yep.
But that might be a little bit too obscure to find anything.
I bet that's not on here.
No. I've already checked.
You could probably find a line on Vegas Insider or Odd Shark. Odd Shark's usually pretty good. Which Odd Shark's a cool little website. This is free advertisement for them, but I believe now Odd Shark is all computer generated. Like it's not people putting their picks in. I think it goes by they load in all the stats and let the stats make the picks. And then it'll show lines and stuff based on that. It's a little different than your traditional like Vegas Insider or some other website you would bet on or look at lines on. It's pretty cool though if anybody ever wants to check that out. But I guess that's our parlay. Dolphins covering 4, over 40.5. Clemson, North Carolina State. Arkansas covering 17. Well, it says 17 on here.
10.5.
Well, on the site that I'm looking at in the calculator, it says 17.
It changed. We got it in at 17.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about our bet, though. It says 17. And then under 45.5 for the Broncos and Raiders. So that actually went up, I think, a half point from what we've got on our sheet. Or no, it's at 45.5.
It was at 48.
It's at 45.5 on this now. So we might have to buy some points there. Or reconsider, but if we do make a change in our parlay,
I'll be honest with you. I'd still take it under at 45.5.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I would too. I just wanted to make sure you knew that before I was telling everybody what it was. But as always, if you like our show, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. Give us pointers. Say whatever you want to say. Just don't be mean, because I will ban you. I have that authority.
Piper doesn't like people being mean.
No, we are kind on this show. Unless it's between the 3 of us, we can yell at each other. But if you're mean to us, then it's not acceptable.
Be mean, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit either. If it's funny, it's funny. I'll laugh at it, even if it is mean. But we will be back, I guess, Monday. Maybe not Monday, because Me and Griff got a long trip this weekend. We might need a whole day to recover. After golfing and going to an Ole Miss game and at the Grove, seeing the city of Oxford, and probably hitting a casino while we're down there, I would imagine. So we will see you back either Monday or Tuesday. It's been real.
Peace.